What are we looking at going into the first week of March? Well, in this video, we're going to break it down. We're going to look and see what's happening in the markets. Let's jump right into it. Well, we just got the PCE report this Friday, and pretty much came in at expectations. As you can see here, the January numbers match the forecasts that the PCE rose 2.5% on an annual basis. And that was basically hitting expectations, as you can see here. So that was a good thing, and that's why we're getting probably a little bit of a bounce Friday the 28th of February, and that's a good thing. Hopefully this sell-off of the markets are going to turn around. But let's take a look and see. So the fear and greed index is still at 19. So we're still in extreme fear. There's a lot of fear, a lot of selling pressure happening because of what's going on just across the globe, I would say. And if we look at the crypto fear and greed, we were at 16. Yesterday, we were at extreme fear of 10. We talked about that in a previous video of just the selling pressure of crypto and how we have a double top. So speaking of crypto, let's just jump right into the charts. And you can see 200-day is just sitting there flirting with the 200-day moving average. It wicked below, but this is what we're looking for. It came all the way down in the 70s, and we had a nice dip and bounce, and we're currently hanging out around $84,000. So the question is well, what's going to happen? Where are we going from here? Are we going to just hang out here? I mean, look at this. If we actually draw a line of support, we could start around somewhere here. We're looking right in there about, you might as well just call it 72,000. So is it going to just hang out here and just continue to dip? Well, I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. I will say that, we talked about it yesterday. This double top right here, and then this selling pressure is a little something to be concerned with. Is it something where, hey, we're sitting here, we're getting a bounce right here. So are we going to just hang out right here for a little bit and then just start our bull run and go up, right? I mean, again, I don't have a crystal ball. I would say though that, if we're looking at somewhere in October, I would say that target's going to be somewhere up here. So, do we bounce around and head up, right? And sorry for my fantastic drawing, but you can see, the idea is, okay, do we have a 140, maybe a 150 target? There's a lot of things to be looking at. Of course, altcoins have been getting absolutely destroyed. But we are getting a nice sort of little bounce, I should say. If we go over, so that was the daily chart. If we go over to the 4-hour, you can see that right here. Nice little bottoming out, right at that 78 range and bouncing up. I think it was as high as about 85. So moving on though, MicroStrategy, my goodness, what is going on with MicroStrategy? Let me remove that. Whoops. MicroStrategy has, let's look at this. Squish this a little bit. I'm running out of room. So MicroStrategy, if we measure this at the top, look at this. This is insane. So we're hanging out right here. We are down, you might as well call it 54%, 53, 54% from the highs back in, I believe that was November. Just absolutely getting brutally crushed. And I mean, it dropped even more. I believe I saw like 235 or something. So that is just a crazy sell-off. But again, take a look at this. I mean, this is just a crazy, you have this sell-off here. Okay. It hits the 200-day moving average and boom, it just bounces right back up. That is really, really good indicator. I will say this though, if we're looking at, man, this is crazy. I gotta drop this a little bit. If we look at this, you have this whole gap right here that went all the way up, right? Well, it was selling, or people were buying, and now we're coming all the way down. Are we just gonna match that gap? And now this is the line of support, right? Right in here. I would say that's a great line of support, to start with. But there's another gap right in here. So is the next line of support down here? If it continues to fall, well, time will tell. But I mean, we could be hitting a $180 or $180 target. That would be a little frustrating. But it is, of course, way oversold. And is getting a nice bounce. And, we could potentially expect it to continue or going up from here. But again, we don't have a crystal ball. Tesla is the same thing. Look at this. This is crazy. I mean, it's amazing how these charts are just like it's the same story. Just again, right at the 200-day moving average. I mean, it's fallen and then boom, it just bounced right there. So, what's going to happen with Tesla? I would say there's a very nice line of support right here for Tesla. If we're looking at, the basically, what is that, 270 range? That's a nice, I would say, baseline. Obviously it was way overbought in this time, going after after the elections. It just went crazy. But there's more gaps that could be filled right in here, so it could continue dropping. We don't know. Tesla's so volatile. I don't have much Tesla at all. I'm wanting to get into Tesla. I like Tesla. I like what they're doing with robots and what they're doing with robotaxi and just everything they have going on. I think Tesla is going to continue going up in the future, but you got to be smart. And I mean, this is just a insane drop. I mean, this is just nuts right here, 43%, something like that. So moving on, let's look at NVIDIA. NVIDIA from its high, I believe it was 20 some percent down. Let me see here. It was around here. 23%. Now it's currently hanging out around 20% below its high. It's below the 200-day moving average. If you look at this, that's very concerning in the short term, extremely concerning. Anytime it wicks below, and we did get a green candle here today. It's bounced up to 122, but can it close today above the 200-day moving average? That would be my question for the short term. And look at this. All of this spike going up. I mean, you have this gap right here, could potentially be filled and this thing fall right all the way down in the 90s. Easily could fall down in the 90s. It could fall lower than that. So this is just stuff I'm watching really closely. I would say that, as far as selling cash secured puts currently for me, I'm holding more cash because when there's unknowns in the market, I mean, if things pull back tremendously, you're sitting there selling cash secured puts, collecting some premiums, and all of a sudden you're down 20%. That's not something I like to do. So I'd rather just hang out a week or two, and get through this time and then get back into the market. Look at the S&P 500. So the S&P 500 obviously has dipped as well. But we have a nice strong green candle. But it's not, $570, it's $570 away from the 200-day moving average. If we look, when was the last time it even touched it? Well, it touched it obviously down here. That was October, November of 2023. So it's really, in my opinion, due to fall and to touch that 200-day moving average. Maybe we have something, it looks like this, and then, we're down there, So, it could even it could even fall down somewhere in here, and then, we continue going up. So that's something that I'm looking at with the S&P. So that is my concerns going into the first week of March, and just want to keep a close eye on everything, keep an eye on the charts, keep an eye on the news, keep an eye on the fear and greed index, and just keep moving forward. I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. Have a blessed day.